So yes, your emotions matter. They are meaningful, but they are not automatically the truth. So let's talk about 3 myths we're still acting as if they were true. Myth number 1 is that there is a rational brain and an emotional brain, and they fight for control. This is the classic head versus heart story. It shows up in leadership advice, productivity culture, and even well-meaning coaching. A popular version of this is the triune brain idea I mentioned before. The lizard brain, the primitive survival, the limbic system about emotions, and the neocortex, where reason sits. The implication is that when you're stressed, the lower layers hijack the higher ones. The issue is that the brain doesn't really work like a stack of separate brains battling it out. Emotion and cognition are deeply intertwined. Your brain is not just switching between thinking mode and feeling mode like a toggle. Why this matters abroad? Well, if you believe your emotions are a primitive takeover, you might treat them as a problem to suppress. But suppression often increases stress and reduces clarity. So a more useful question is, what is my brain trying to predict right now? And what data is it using? Myth number 2 is about, well, if I feel it strongly, it must be true. This one is subtle. It sounds like self-trust, but it can become a trap. If you feel anxious before a meeting in your new job, your brain might be interpreting bodily sensations like tight chest, elevated heart rate as danger. But that does not automatically mean the meeting is dangerous or that you're not capable. Strong emotion is real, but it's also not proof. And why does this matter when you're living abroad? Well, when you're in a new culture, your brain has fewer familiar cues. That uncertainty can amplify intensity. You may experience things like, I don't belong here, I'm failing, they don't like me. Sometimes those thoughts point to something important, but sometimes they're your brain just trying to create certainty in an ambiguous environment. And myth number 3 is that emotions happen to me, and therefore I either control them or I don't.